Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Pemko number 147A. This is a mill finish aluminum interlocking type threshold. The 147 is representative of the profile of this threshold. The A stands for the fact that it's in the mill aluminum finish and is available in bright dip gold, dark bronze, satin nickel, and just a gold anodized finish as well. The bright dip gold is much more reflective and even metallic looking. This is an interlocking threshold, which is very common and typical, that you're going to see in residential applications that are going to have typically a wooden entry door, maybe fiberglass. And residential because, well, first of all, this is an unusually high threshold, which you'll see in residential applications. There is an image below this video showing everything important dimensionally about the item. Let's go over that now. You can see that the threshold is 4 inch wide from that drawing. And the unusual part, 4 inches is certainly not unusual, but 1.5 inches high is a real high threshold. Okay, 1.5 inches. Now, what makes this different than a typical threshold? Well, it's an interlocking style threshold. And interlocking thresholds are, in my opinion, a very elegant way to seal a door, especially an exterior door. So this threshold has an angled exterior return. It's got the plateau that the door definitely sits over. It's got a trough right back here, and then the return. The interlocking threshold is incredibly elegant because of its multi-purpose sort of ability to seal a door. An interlocking threshold inherently will include a hook strip or a J-strip. If you use your imagination, you can see why we would call it a J-strip. This gets nailed to the bottom of the door. When the door closes, it mates to the lip of the threshold, just like this. Okay? Now that makes for an incredibly effective seal at the bottom. No door sweep can, in my opinion, can really match the mechanical, connection between the door and the threshold, like this sort of situation is. Okay. Now there's something else that makes this threshold even more exciting, in my opinion. It has a water return sort of provision in it. And what that means is, in the trough, and it's right here, there's 2 of them in this threshold. At the tip of my finger, you can all but hardly see it. There's a hole drilled. There's another one down here as well. So there's a hole in the trough here and then a hole in the trough here. There is then, in the face of the threshold, a notch. There are 2 in this threshold, which is normal. It's right here. The other one is right here. Now, the concept of that, not only are you going to have the protection of a mechanical interlock, but should any water get inside, the concept is that it will go through what's called the drain hole. Well, it's called the weep hole, but it'll drain through that hole, and then it will weep out in front of the threshold. Okay? Incredibly effective. That 2-pronged approach to sealing the door. Now, the undercut of the door, if you've got 1.5 inches, you can see that the mouth of that hook strip is certainly going to give you the ability to get this installed. So you've got to calculate about, roughly 1/8 of an inch undercut beyond what this threshold is to be able to safely get that installed. And this is galvanized, white coat galvanized metal as well, so it'll be corrosion resistant. There is an option that you have to select whether or not you want the water pan, and the water pan is nothing other than a piece of sheet metal. And this order for this client happens to have requested a water pan, and an aluminum water pan. It's just a piece of sheet metal that the threshold will sit on top of. And now if you think back to the description of the weep hole, drain hole and weep hole situation, you might want a piece of sheet metal resting on the sill so that if any water got in, it wouldn't be sitting directly on your sill material, wood or whatever, or stone, whatever the case might be. It's also available as a brass water pan. It's unusual to mix those two metals, but the aluminum water pan goes with an aluminum-based product. A brass water pan is obviously intended for a brass-based threshold. People say, should I order it? And I says, well, my answer to that is an aluminum water pan is a very inexpensive add to the cost of the threshold that you can choose, to discard it, I suppose, should you elect to not use it. But the truth of the matter is, I would have it down there, unless there was a specific reason preventing me from having it down below. So just a piece of very thin sheet metal, but certainly more durable than having water sit on top of whatever the sill material is. So as you can probably tell, I'm a fan of interlocking thresholds, and it's not only those reasons mentioned before, but these sorts of installations are known to last decades and seal the door very effectively. And the only time that something like this fails is that the hook strip might need to be replaced. After years and years of use, it might fatigue, but more likely what happens is that it becomes unintentionally damaged. A shoe is left under the door, and someone just is intent on getting that door open over the shoe. So that'll damage it. Or if you repurpose a door or you get a new door, threshold will stay. It's kind of hard to get all those little nails that are included with this out of the hook strip, so you can buy that hook strip separately as well. Now, speaking of the nails, you can see them here. Screws are obviously included as well. That's going to be like a number 12 by 2.5 inch screw, something in that range. This threshold is available in several different lengths on the website. So if you have need for a custom length, by all means let us know by ordering the next longest piece or pieces and indicate in the comment field what length you'd like for us to cut the material back to. The reasoning is if you had to take this 36-inch piece and cut it down to, say, 30-inch, you'd likely eliminate that countersink there for the screw. The next one's all the way over here in the middle, so you're stuck drilling another hole. Then the centers aren't correct. So if you order a custom length, we'll not only locate that first countersink at the proper distance from the edge, but the proper center to center as well. The factory's cutting it from long extrusion lengths anyway. They might as well just save the work and prep it for you to the proper length. Okay. Pemko has interlock thresholds available in several different heights, several different widths. So if this is not ideally suited for your application, reach out to us. We'll definitely help with the installation, or the selection, I should say, and installation as well. There is a link below this video to what's called the instructions, which are really just straightforward. By all means, review them, but nothing is out specifically there for us to call out, I should say. Okay. Pemko is a comprehensive manufacturer of all things weather stripping related, not only thresholds like this, but perimeter gasketing and door sweeps. Material made of aluminum like this, architectural bronze, and stainless steel as well. If you have any questions on the Pemko 147A, interlocking aluminum threshold, or any other Pemko product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.